It's time to get lost in the Midcard. This Believe in Pro Wrestling property is brought to you by Bet Online, the continued #1 source for all your sports betting needs. Join now and receive your 100% welcome bonus on your first deposit when you use our promo code BELIEVE. Now, here are Jeremy Bennett and Matt Black on the Believe Podcast Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where it is very surreal and very awesome to see AEW become rated R. It's lost the mid-card. Welcome. Lots to talk about today. Probably not much in the news front because we're going to be busy with pay-per-views up the wazoo. We had two to talk about that happened this weekend. A very good weekend of pay-per-views. I may say that WrestleDream was amazing. We all know that. NXT No Mercy might have been one of the best pay-per-views of NXT since Black and Gold, I may say. We'll dig into both of those. And also, hey, we got another one this week. We got a PLE on Saturday? Saturday. Fastlane, WWE Fastlane. Only typical WWE fashion, only 4 matches on that card right now. So we'll do our best to predict those and any other news that may break as we lead you up to Monday Night Raw here at the top of the hour. Once again, thank you for joining us on Lost in the Midcard. We are on the Believe in Pro Wrestling Network. Go ahead and do a favor and subscribe to us if you haven't done so already. As we are marching on, we're getting close to 666. Yeah. So go ahead and search for Believe in Pro Wrestling. That's BLEAV if you're listening on the podcast. Also hit that bell icon. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way. We're live every Monday at around 6:10 to 6:15 Central, 7:10, 7:15 Eastern Standard Time. Leading you up to Monday Night Raw, which apparently has been torn up and rebooked from what I've seen so far. We'll see if we get
I think a lot of that has to do with Becky not
injuries
being cleared.
Yeah.
And
then they
you gotta just start from scratch because I'm pretty sure a lot of the show is based around her.
Yeah, so. And then they I think well, I don't know if this has been fixed or not, but last I checked a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of hours ago, they had pulled mentions of Damian Priest and Jey Uso as well. So I don't know if that's getting
that I had not heard.
Yeah. So we'll have to see if anything changes while we're on the air, as always. But I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And as always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime, Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing tonight?
Dude, we had a great weekend of professional wrestling. I mean,
my God.
Honestly, if you didn't enjoy
something's wrong with you if you did.
Yeah, honestly, if you didn't enjoy the wrestling content we got this weekend, maybe you might want to, I don't know, maybe you might want to find another form of entertainment to enjoy. Because I thought everything across the board this weekend was really good stuff, man.
Am I right to say No Mercy felt like a takeover for the first time since Black and Gold?
It was the closest thing to a Black and Gold takeover that they've put on since Sean took over. And I don't think that's speaking out of turn. I think that's a very accurate statement to make.
Yeah, looking at the preview, they still list Tegan Nox and Becky Lynch, but apparently that is going to definitely be a no-go. We'll go ahead and just get into that right now.
Unless Becky gets cleared really late in the evening, I mean, I don't know, man.
This dropped from Fightful Select 5 hours ago, so early afternoon. Unfortunate news for Becky Lynch, not cleared to compete at tonight's episode. Of course, she was supposed to defend the NXT Women's Championship against Tegan Nox. She has sustained a laceration that required 11 stitches to close in her fucking tremendous match with Tiffany Stratton. And those two work so well together. They put together 2 damn good matches. We'll get into that later. But yeah,
Tiffany Stratton's a bona fide superstar waiting to happen.
Very much so.
She's going to be able to carry that women's division on her back for years to come, as long as they don't screw her up.
Right. I can't wait for her and Charlotte to mix it up eventually, which is going to be inevitable. But yeah, that's amazing. No Jay and Damien on the website right now. So I don't know if they forgot about it or if it's just going to happen. Let's go to the chat. Craig, what's up? Thanks for joining us. Steven Chambers, WrestleDream was awesome. Fully agree. Poor Rick and his Bengals. Yeah, the Bengals. Geez, man, they are as bad as my Bears right
I've had 2 terrible weeks in a row of bad
Steelers
fantasy football decisions. And yes, the Steelers, I don't even want to talk about the Steelers right now. Honestly, until
when
they
are
fire
Matt Canada?
Until they fire Matt Canada, they're not my team. Like I disown the franchise until they grow a set and fire that waste of space that has held our offense back for the last multiple years. Our defense can't do everything. You're exhausting them out on the field because Matt Canada and his inept play calling have destroyed the franchise. Until Canada's gone, I don't fucking care. Like I'm honestly done. I'm done with the Steelers for now until Canada's gone. They got to make a move.
And there were 2 toilet bowls this week, 2 0-3 teams battling it out. One of them was my Bears, who had a 21-point lead evaporate. Gee, that was so great. Although Fields looked
Derrick Henry this weekend, and of course he made me regret it.
What, you benched him?
Yeah, I benched him last week when he scored like 2 points for me last week. I benched
the guy you just got to ride or die with.
Well, he'll probably start next week. I've made a bunch of moves in the waivers. I'm hoping I can pick up a few key components and turn my season around. So,
Mark Cho, right on cue there. Welcome to episode 3 of Lost in the NFL Midcard.
Brought to you by
Bet Online. Amazingly enough, next week's episode is going to be a day before our 1-year anniversary on Believe. How about that? Already been a year.
And the day before the Tuesday Night War, brother.
Right, and
when NXT and AEW go head to head, the Rated R Superstar going up against NXT.
Yeah, and then NXT's got 2 nights of Halloween Havoc following that as well. Very eventful October for NXT for sure. MK, thanks for joining us. Less said about the Browns, the better. Well, yeah, they had
the whole AFC North's the shits right now. I don't believe in the Ravens either. Honestly, I think the whole division sucks right now. Because the Ravens choke anytime anybody thinks that they're going to do something great. And I think it's only a matter of time until they fall off. And the whole division blows right now. It's anybody's division. It's so freaking bad.
How about them Cowboys? Dude, yeah, I have the Cowboys.
I would like to say fuck the Cowboys. Because 2 weeks in a row in fantasy, I think I would have won both games if not for the defenses I played against. I think I played against the Bills last week, and I played against the Cowboys this weekend. So fuck the Cowboys.
The Cowboys scored over 40 in week 1. They laid an egg against somebody. I can't remember who they laid an egg against.
Last week when I thought they were gonna do when I benched James Conner because I thought they were gonna stop him in the run game, and he lit them up. And then they screwed me this week when they actually showed up and played when I had to play against them. So yeah, fuck them damn Cowboys.
On this day, I can see clearly. Yes, we'll get into that in a minute. Poor Dum Dum lost his title, and I don't know if anybody's upset.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's going to be short-lived. I think he's getting it back, and I'm not happy about it.
Oh, well, we'll get into that. Wrestling social media is too crazy. Thank God for Beyonce and her Renaissance world to help me escape the madness and toxicness. I had some friends that went down to
Bell just block people, man. Honestly, if I'm seeing people being psycho in the wrestling community, I don't even care if I interact with them or not. Like if it pops up on my timeline and I don't like what I read, blocked. It's really just that simple. Don't let the toxicity of the social media wrestling community ruin your enjoyment of what's going on the product right now. Wrestling's too much fun right now to allow, the negative people and the tribalism and all that bullshit to ruin your fun. Don't just brush it off and move on.
Adam said it best himself in the
Yeah,
scrum.
I thought he had a great thread of posts last night.
Yeah, just like everything. Yeah. I had a couple friends going down to KC this past weekend for that tour, and holy shit, that stage looked amazing. Like it was like a WWE stage, entrance stage that Beyonce had. It was insane.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Yeah, and Taylor Swift, Kirsten Kelsey's fan. Yeah, how about that game last night? That was a lot closer than a lot of people expected. I think.
He also let me down. Yeah, a lot of people let me down yesterday.
Yeah, DraftKings Kelsey was my captain, so yeah, I didn't do well last night. God, what was the spread? I think it was over. It was double digits if I remember right. Let's see here. Pigskin Pick'em. There we go. Oh Christ, I gotta log in probably. Never mind. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So, 9.5, which is still pretty large spread, but yeah, I went 12-5 against the spread in my pick'em league. That was nice. I wish I would have bet all those games. Of course, if I would have bet them, I would have probably lost them all. But anyway,
that's the way it usually works.
Would you guys rank WrestleDream better than All In or All In better?
Man, they're different types of shows.
They were, because there wasn't really any...
honestly, like All In, All Out, WrestleDream, all three excellent shows. I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to play the ranking game because I think they were all excellent for their own reasons.
Yeah.
And I think they all stood out in their own unique way. I thought all three shows were great. I'm very impressed with the pay-per-view run AEW is on right now, and I really hope they can continue it because like their string of at least the last 4 shows, Forbidden Door, All In, All Out, and WrestleDream have all been just top tier excellent shows.
WrestleDream was more about the wrestling than anything like shocking that happened outside of Adam Copeland, obviously, but it was more about the wrestling and honoring Inoki, which they did a great job of honoring Inoki, and a great job of showing Christian when they showed Inoki's sons on camera. Speaking of Christian, we'll get into him later too. Rick, does Rick need a tissue? I don't know. I've not talked to him about the Bengals, but I'm sure he's not happy. Yeah,
I don't blame him. I wouldn't be happy either, man.
Holy chat tonight. Thanks you guys for joining us live. This chat's blowing up. Will Dum Dum get a rematch? Probably.
I unfortunately believe Dum Dum will get his rematch, and I believe he'll win.
Because the rest of the Judgment Day is going to show up and cheat?
Yeah, and I think Ripley will be back to, help put the title back on him.
Or is Carmelo going to turn on Trick?
I don't know if he'll turn on him, but I think he could accidentally cost him the title.
Was weird.
And then Trick could blame him for it.
That was weird that they did that locker room thing after.
That was a really odd way to end the show.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Nothing there really made you feel like it was going to be like any turns.
I'll tell you what the end of No Mercy told me. Jade Cargill's coming to the main roster. She's not going to NXT.
Oh, that's a good. I said that last week.
I'm saying if Cargill was going to NXT, she confronts Becky at the end of No Mercy. And the fact that they didn't utilize her, she wasn't in the crowd. She's not in the women's breakout tournament. She's not going to NXT. She's going to Raw. She's going to SmackDown. I think she's gonna come up on Raw and flatten Nia Jax.
I mean that 14 million views on social, I think it was enough to tell you she's bypassing NXT. The fact that they ran like that on Raw or was it SmackDown last week? Yeah, the things they did with her announcing and everything. Yeah, that told me she ain't going to NXT. Tony Khan's birthday next Tuesday. Yeah, he did say that on the scrum that made Edge laugh really hard. Cowboys suck. Though they killed the Patriots, but the Patriots suck. So, the Buccaneers. Yeah, they're the Buccaneers. I mean, it's Baker Mayfield.
They're doing well. Didn't they win yesterday? Or did they choke and lose at the end? I thought they won.
I think they won. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Niners
they
and Cowboys. That's a Sunday Night Football next week, I do believe. So that'll be a good game.
Good. I hope even though I'm not going to play their defense next week, I hope their defense gets trounced. I hope that person who beat me this weekend gets negative freaking points for the Cowboys defense next weekend.
I'm starting the Cowboys defense every week. I mean, come on.
Well, I don't have them, so I can't start them.
Frantic World, thanks for joining us. Matt Black's more idiots than Sean Ross Sapp.
That's true, honestly, because a lot of the people Sean
he just
quote retweets, I blocked them.
Yeah. And
I'm like, oh, this is a toxic asshole block.
Like he gives people with one follower like brand new burner accounts that dig up stuff on him, and he gives them attention.
I block all that stuff instantly.
I'd love to see Matt's block count right now.
Oh, it's
when is AEW going to lower their price? I don't know. The rumor is Full Gear could be the first pay-per-view on HBO Max, but we don't know yet. There's also been reports that it could be 2024.
Until the media, this is what I've been told. Until the media rights deal is complete, the new media rights deal between Warner Brothers Discovery and AEW, they're not going to be on Max because the whole landing on Max thing is going to be part of the new media rights deal. So AEW's weekly content and pay-per-views will not be on Max until the media rights deal is done. So that's basically what they need to do. They need to get that deal done. So the sooner the deal gets done, the sooner AEW goes on Max. It's really just that simple.
Yeah. Is Jade going to show up tonight? I got a better question for you.
If I'm WWE, I'd make her show up tonight.
I got a better question for you. Is Randy Orton going to show up tonight now that Edge debuted last night?
What's Randy Orton have to do with Edge?
Well, Edge is a big name that just debuted for your rival
company. And that's why you bring Jade Cargill out tonight. It's the exact opposite. Well, Randy Orton wasn't in AEW. Jade Cargill was in AEW, so it makes sense for Cargill from AEW to show up in WWE right after WWE guys showed up in AEW.
He's a Hall of Famer that hasn't appeared in over 15 months.
I don't make that Randy Orton connection whatsoever.
No, I'm just saying a big star returning for WWE since they got a big star debut.
Well, they need a story for him, and Riddle's gone. So I don't know if they I don't know if they have a storyline in place to bring.
Someone thought they saw Riddle in the crowd last night. I'm like, I don't know. Probably not.
I would highly doubt that. That would have been all over social media had he been there.
This is Sid's pitch. Swerve in the Eliminator tournament, win and get a title shot winner. I mean, obviously, I predicted Swerve to beat Hangman because he is going to get a world title shot eventually. That's probably he might be the next one. I don't know. Wasn't MJF talking about someone in the scrum last night? I didn't catch the MJF part.
What do you mean by?
I don't know if he was talking about someone and then like as his next opponent or something like that. I don't know.
No, I don't recall anything like that.
MK says he thinks Jade's going to SmackDown to beat Io for the title. Bell, what's everybody's percentage rate of Punk going back to WWE following Adam Copeland going back to AEW? I agree with Matt. Matt said this about a month ago. I say 10%. I agree with Matt's number there. Is your number different now, or do you still stick at about 10% for Punk going to WWE?
WWE, I'm gonna go 15. I'm gonna go 15 to 20%.
Increasing it.
Going to WWE. It's only because the decision no longer is in Vince McMahon's hands.
Yeah.
If Endeavor and Ari Emanuel, who have worked with Punk in the past in the UFC, want him there, then they have the final call. They can make the final call to bring him in. It's no longer a Vince McMahon being the final decision. So I'll go 15 to 20%. I still think if he truly wants to, fix his reputation in a sense, I would go to Impact. I truly believe Impact is the place to go.
And a programming note, make sure you are subscribed and hit that bell icon as a new interview is going to be dropping with Rick Ucchino here and a lady that very well impressed at WrestleDream, Julia Hart. So that is coming very soon. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. And speaking of WrestleDream, let's first start with the lead. This guy right here, just basically, I don't know if Tony Khan said it, but a lot of people said it. The worst kept secret in pro wrestling at the time was Adam Copeland coming to AEW. Sure enough, as the beatdown ensued, as Nick Wayne turned heel, did not expect it, but as soon as he went side by side with Darby, I knew it was coming. but I didn't expect it. Like going into the night, I didn't expect Nick Wayne to turn heel. I'm wondering if this is what they were. I'm wondering if they're playing out what AR Fox was supposed to do.
Here's the thing: long time viewers of this show know that I've been telling anybody who's willing to listen for the past 8 months that Edge was going to AEW.
Yeah.
I was telling everybody on this show on almost a weekly basis that man was going to be all elite this year when his deal was up.
Yeah.
So it was not a surprise to me whatsoever to see him on Sunday, but man, he seemed refreshed and rejuvenated and happy to be there.
Yeah, very much so, especially if you catch the media scrum, just how happy he was to be there. Interesting, the stuff you saw before his entrance was filmed by him and Darby Allin around Seattle the days preceding
Friday night. Yep.
Yeah, WrestleDream, and obviously they redubbed the "You Think You Know Me" because that was the WWE's part of it. But obviously, as we expected and knew, WWE did not have the rights to Metal Angus.
Yeah, they changed "You Think You Know Me" to "You Think You Know Him."
Yeah,
which is easy enough. And rumors online suggest that was Beth Phoenix doing the voice, but I don't know that for 100% certainty.
I don't know either. But out comes Edge, obviously big. A lot of people were making fun of him, like Jeff Hardy, because Hardy was dancing when his brother was getting beat up. Well, Edge wasn't really out there to save Sting and Darby. Edge was out there to stare down Christian. And
yeah, I mean, everybody was acting like, oh, why is he? He wasn't. He didn't come. He was not coming out to be the hero and make the save.
No,
he was coming out. He made a decision when he was in the ring.
But it was funny. Christian ended up being a master manipulator and getting Nick Wayne to flip on Darby Allin, and then literally minutes later, Edge shows up and does the same thing to Christian because Christian thought he would deliver the concerto to Sting, but oh no, a chair shot to Nick Wayne, a chair throw a la Sabu to Luchasaurus, spear and a spear, but no touchy with Christian. No, not yet. No touchy.
Christian got the fuck out of Dodge.
Yep. And then the handshake with Darby and then Sting. Man, I just couldn't have thought of a better way to end that baby, man. What did you think when you saw it all finally play out?
I thought it was great. I thought they crushed it. To me, it was a perfect ending to the show, and it definitely got people talking.
Yeah.
They threw the new rated R shirt on Shop AEW.
I bought it.
It almost crashed Pro Wrestling Tees in the process.
I got through though.
They literally put me in the waiting queue. Like they were having such heavy traffic, and I hadn't seen that on that website since CM Punk showed up in AEW. So that's a huge sign for.
I like the shirt
for what Copeland's going to mean to that company going forward.
If I can find it. There we go. 2.6 million views right now in less than 24 hours.
It is the number one trending video on YouTube today.
Yeah.
Is Adam Copeland's AEW debut. That's huge.
Yeah.
Of all of YouTube, not in all of sports, just all of YouTube, the number one trending video is Adam Copeland in AEW. And
you got the media scrum afterwards, Edge saying there's a whole lot of people.
Scrum.
He did. I only watched Edge. I tapped out after Edge. Edge. Thank God Edge was first, or Adam Copeland. Got it. If you thought it was hard getting used to saying Bryan Danielson again, Edge is going to be 10 times worse.
MJF called him Edge on the media scrum, and Tony Khan almost had a heart attack.
Oh man. Yeah. Number one guy he mentioned that he's never faced, Samoa Joe. Boy, that'll be great. And he's not going to be a part-timer. He's going to be there every week. He's going to help out. I mean, he even mentioned in the media scrum that there are people, multiple people he'll spend an hour with just to help them get better. And I saw somebody write about this and I kind of agreed. It's like he's kind of filling CM Punk's void without being the cancer. you know, he's going to be there day in and day out. I ultimately think, either it's going to be retirement match for both of him and Christian at the same time, or they go out as a team. Either way, I think would be great. But we're going to see that play out in AEW. Both men are 50, but both men don't have that mileage on them because they both had taken years off. They both look great. So I think we're going to get a good, solid few years with both these guys. I honestly think we're going to get TLC again. Maybe not TLC, but I think we're going to get Dudley's and Hardy's and Edge and Christian back together at some point. I obviously think Samoa Joe is
Ain't
a
no
great
way
name.
Bully Ray's coming into AEW.
You don't think so, huh?
No chance in hell.
Well,
I guarantee you Tony Khan would not bring him in.
Well,
he's burned too many bridges with his big fat mouth. He ain't going into AEW.
Before we get to WrestleDream, let's go to the chat. MK, I think Swerve needs to beat Ray Phoenix at Full Gear and push Gates of Agony in the tag division. Also, Julia Hart interview already up. Well, thank you, MK. So, yeah, go check out Rick's interview with Julia there. Edge almost in AEW 2019. We brought that up several times here before he went to WWE.
We definitely talked about that.
Well, I would be kind of hesitant to shake Adam Copeland's hand as well,
It seemed like Edge was more hesitant to shake their hands than the other way around.
True.
They were the ones that both offered Copeland their hands, and Edge didn't accept it first and then hesitated and did, which is all the more reason why he was not coming out to save them. He was coming out to make a choice. He made a choice in the moment, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's why.
No, this is different than Jeff dancing while his brother's getting beat up.
100%. 100%.
When will Brie Garcia be All Elite? That is seemingly going to be inevitable, according to the rumors and whatnot. So
I think they'll do more. I think she'll do stuff in AEW when Brian's full-time run is done. Like, when he's more of a part-time there.
Yeah.
I think she'll come in and do shots then.
And she wants to. I know she said it publicly. She wants to wrestle Saraya. So we know that Adam Copeland is having his first match on Dynamite Title Tuesday, which is not this week. It's next week. Do you think AEW will beat NXT again? I don't know. I mean, NXT has been hot lately with Becky.
Well, last week when they didn't have Becky, they fell back down to earth.
And
one thing's very obvious. They're going to hope to God that Becky Lynch is cleared to compete next Tuesday, because they're going to want her on the show next week.
And on top of that,
I guarantee you both shows are going to stack. We're all winning next Tuesday night, because both AEW and WWE are going to stack those shows. And we're going to have some great wrestling to watch that night.
I was going to say, if I was going to be at home, I'd have both TVs going at the same time, but that's one of the nights I host trivia, so I will be watching on DVR. I mean, AEW switching nights is obviously going to probably lower the rating, but then you put Edge's first AEW match in there, that might bump it back up.
Smart and strategically done.
Yeah. Edge will top Punk's merchandise. Punk was such a big merch seller. That's a tough task.
Well, we'll see. He only has one piece of merch right now, and it's the #1 bestseller on the website.
Yeah.
So
his initial shirt, obviously.
See how everything else goes in the future.
Beth is not with WWE right now.
I don't know if she's under a deal or not, because
I don't think
Adam wasn't really committal to the idea of her coming in immediately. I think she might still be under some kind of Legends deal.
Maybe a Legends deal.
So,
because obviously she hasn't been used on NXT in over a year. But yeah, so she's not signed, but maybe a Legends deal. You could be right there. A Bell in the chat. Oh God, can Nikki wrestle in AEW instead? Because Nikki wasn't great. Don't get me wrong. She wasn't as bad either. Brie was just horrendous.
You can hate Nikki and Brie's in-ring work all you want, but they're bona fide entertainment stars. and them appearing on AEW programming to wrestle, even a match that's not that great, will bring new eyeballs to the product.
Yeah.
It's really just that simple.
MK, does Adam Copeland win the TNT title? No, I think Christian will lose it before they ever touch.
Oh, I don't know about all that.
I don't think Adam's going to win that. I don't know.
I think it'd be a great. I think it'd be a great first title for him to win in AEW.
Antoine, will we get Mercedes next Tuesday or at Full Gear?
We will get Mercedes when Mercedes is cleared.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, that's the long and the short of it. When she's cleared and she's ready to go, she's gonna be there. But until she's healed up, we're not going to see her.
Well, with that said, of course, we talked about the end of WrestleDream. Let's talk about the beginning of it because, well, it was a damn good show. My buddy John Canton, who does reviews on his website TGR Wrestling, gave both WrestleDream and NXT No Mercy 9 out of 10s for their respective shows. Boy, we were treated to a nice loaded 0 hour, weren't we, Matt? There was just match after match after match. 4
matches. I think it might have been a little too much. I don't think you need 4 matches on a pre-show. I think 3 is the maximum and 2 is the sweet spot. But yeah, they crammed 4 matches in there. So
I did love Claudio and Josh Barnett, especially afterwards when Josh got on the mic. I thought that was very fucking cool. And of course, it's probably going to be a rematch down the line. I really enjoyed that one. On the main card, we kicked things off with the handicap tag team match, MJF against the Righteous. This was kind of more fun, and MJF having fun at the Righteous's expense and hitting, of course, a double kangaroo.
As it should have been.
And MJF getting the win.
And put the Righteous back on Ring of Honor where they belong.
I like the Righteous, so. Next up was for the ROH Championship, World Heavyweight Championship, and the Strong Openweight Championship. Kingston, Shibata beat the shit out of each other. We expected that as much. A great Inoki style respect between the two at the end of the match as well. Eddie Kingston retaining, also not a surprise there, but that was a lot of fun. People just, the two guys just beating the dog shit out of each other. Probably a match that I didn't expect to impress me as much, but it did, was the TBS Championship between Chris Statlander and Julia Hart. I think this weekend made 2 stars that were came up. Trick Williams in NXT and Julia Hart in AEW. I thought Julia wrestled her best match here, and that moonsault she hit was just perfection. I was hoping she would win, but she didn't. But I still thought this was a damn good match that I wasn't expecting to be as good. Matt, what did you think of this one?
Julia Hart's improved leaps and bounds from when she started, and that's really shouldn't be a surprise.
No,
she's
gonna be a champion soon.
She's definitely become a focal point of the House of Black with Malachi out hurt and Buddy over in Australia right now. So. Yeah. I mean, King's hurt too. He's got the cast. You can see the cast on his hand. They don't draw attention to it, but it's definitely there.
No, and I think he's done a good job of being a presence in Julia's matches, though.
Here's the thing. Chris Statlander is the only person in the company who not only beat Jade Cargill once, she beat her twice.
Yep.
So I think right now AEW is not in the mindset of let's make Statlander look less than. I think they're going to wait and see how WWE books Jade and go right from there. I think Statlander's run in length of time that she will hold that TBS title will be very dependent on how WWE books Jade Cargill.
That's an interesting way to look at it, though. At the same time, I think you could have done it dirty with Brody King too, but I do see what you're saying there. Fatal 4-Way was chaotic, as all AEW matches with more than 4 people have. Matt got the prediction right. Bucks are going to face we were wondering, would they face FTR 4th time? Of course, some people thought Aussie Open might come through on Sunday, but great match. I thought the Guns looked really good here. They're really starting to come around. I think it helps being around Jay White, who's a just an amazing wrestler. I think that's helped the Bucks a lot. Obviously getting a lot of confidence as well because of Bullet Club Gold getting a lot of shine on Collision lately. I thought they looked good. Orange Cassidy and Hook, great team. They did some good stuff. This may not be the end of them. I wouldn't put be out of the realm of having those guys team up again. But Bucks and FTR part 4, we can't argue with that one, can we, Matt?
Yeah, I would assume that's happening in Full Gear unless they decide to invoke that for Title Tuesday next week.
That or Full Gear's in California, right?
Yes, Full Gear is in Cali.
So,
but I mean, I'm not putting it past them for them to stack that Title Tuesday next week.
True.
They're gonna want to go out of their way to make sure people watch. And man, Bucks and FTR.
Yep.
And that's a good way to make sure people tune in. So
Swerve and Hangman Page could have main evented, and it was that good. The build-up was that good.
Awesome.
The match delivered. Swerve using Nana's crown was, and of course, Hangman played it perfect, kind of being frazzled at getting booed, but we all knew why he was getting booed because we're in Swerve's house, literally. But he played it off really well at being kind of confused and conflicted at first about getting booed. And I thought the crowd was great on this match. And we both said this was the match for Swerve to continue to elevate. And thankfully they kept going with that because he has been elevating to a top tier in 2023. Starks and Yuta, a good match. Those guys we said this last week. This was for Starks to get his win back because he's been losing lately. And then the fucking classic, Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr. There was a reason why Moxley was cussing so much because it was that damn good, wasn't it?
It was a great technical match.
Man, just the counters and how fast they were getting in and out of holds and psychology, work of the arm. The kayfabe. Well, I mean, in real life it was broken. Now it's kayfabe where he's working Sabre was working the arm of Bryan and Mox on. How about Mox on commentary? 3 matches. He did a damn good job on commentary, I thought.
Mox was incredible on commentary.
He did the Barnett. Obviously, he's trained with Barnett. Did that 0-hour match, then came back and did back-to-back with Yuta and Danielson. So he did a tremendous job on commentary. Now he's saying he got fined for cussing. It's a pay-per-view. I'm thinking he's playing along, but it was great when he covered up the mic.
But that was on you. That was on YouTube.
Oh, that's true. He covered up the microphone and was like, beat the fuck out of him. And he goes, well, what? I covered my mic. And then Excalibur's like, well, ours are still on. Oh, that popped me. I should have expected this match to be great. I don't know, maybe just because it was the tail end of things and I didn't expect it to really deliver, but that 6-man tag with Ibushi, Omega, and Jericho and the Don Callis family delivered. Like, after coming off of that Danielson match, I just didn't expect it to have fire, and they fucking brought it in that 6-man. That thing went over 20 minutes, man.
I'm tired of seeing Omega lose on pay-per-view.
Right.
I'm really, really tired of seeing Omega lose on pay-per-view. Something they got to change this shit up. It's getting on my last nerve. This man should be in the hunt for MJF's world title, not losing tag matches and 6-mans to the fucking Don Callis family. Like, this needs to shift. I need winning Omega back. I don't like this.
I think it's safe to say we can put Aussie Open in top tier tag teams because them and FTR was another banger right out. We're just dropping them all off here, dropping off 4.5-star, 5-star matches left and right. I think Aussie Open is now in that elite tier tag teams with FTR, the Young Bucks. They proved it in this match with FTR. Another 20-minute match that was just brilliant. I was wondering, like you were. I still predicted FTR, but there were a lot of people thought maybe Ozzy Open was going to win this, especially after the Young Bucks had won that fatal 4-way. And then, of course, the main event: Darby Allin and Christian Cage. Darby, my God, how is this guy going to walk at age 40? Is beyond me. But
his arm was in a sling at the media scrum last night. I said he was going to the hospital to get an X-ray afterwards. So,
do you think this Nick Wayne turn is a do-over for the AR Fox thing?
No, I've been saying for months now. I thought Wayne was going to turn on Darby. I just didn't know when. And as soon as he got in the ring with the title, I'm like, oh, he's turning. Like it did not surprise me at all. I saw a lot of people that were surprised, but I've been calling this turn for a while.
And let's quickly get to it, but we ran out of time today. No surprise, but No Mercy on Saturday, as we said, was probably the best, the most close to a takeover NXT PLE that we've gotten since the Black and Gold era. Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin beating the shit out of each other was good. I love that Corbin got the win too. I just think that was the right move. Trick Williams winning the North American title was a great story. The crowd way behind him. I think a new star has been made with Trick as they've slowly been building him up over the last couple of months. He's been doing a great job kind of on his own, away from Melo at the same time as being connected with Melo still. But what were your thoughts? And then, of course, Stax and D'Angelo retain on the tag side. But what are your thoughts on putting the NXT Championship on Ilya Dragunov? Do you think it was the right move?
If it's a transitional move, yes. I don't think he's a long-term solution for the brand. I don't. He's a great in-ring guy, but I don't think he's going to be somebody that's going to be able to carry that brand on his back. I just don't see it. Like, I don't think he has the overall complete package of a character to be the centerpiece of NXT right now when it's recatching fire. And if he's a transitional to get the title on somebody else, cool. But I don't see him being a long-term solution as their world champion right now. I just don't.
And as we said before, Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton just tore the house down in the main event, more than worthy of the main event spot. 20-minute Extreme Rules match. This is the great thing. You would think with a character like Tiffany's, she would be a chicken shit heel, kind of like The Miz. And that's what the great thing about Tiffany is. She is not. She has never been afraid of Becky Lynch at any point in this feud. And, and she showed at the beginning of the match, telling her to bring it with all the toys that Becky was bringing to the ring. We got Becky with that laceration. Hopefully, maybe we can still get that match with Tegan Nox tonight. If not, we can, because poor Tegan got pulled 2 weeks ago. And it was,
that's really bad luck for her.
Yeah.
I mean, they could always just take that match and put it on NXT next Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's what I would do personally.
It's a good point. But God, Becky and Tiffany just work well together. And, well, I won't be surprised if they give Tiffany a call up. She's more than ready at this point, I think. So, put her on SmackDown. After Fastlane, I'd have her feud right with Charlotte Flair. That would be a lot of fun, I think. So, we kind of flew through NXT, but we're running out of time. Fastlane coming up this Saturday on the Peacock, on the cock, October 7th, and only 4 matches are in order right now. The first one I think is going to be pretty obvious: LWO against Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. The Lashley and the Profits cannot lose this match.
Who in the LWO is in it?
Ray, Santos, and either Joaquin or Cruz.
I just wonder if this is where Santos turns on Ray.
Don't do it.
I could see it coming. I feel like he was going to do it on Friday before the Street Profits beat their ass.
Santos is a good heel, though. So Santos is a very good heel. So yeah. Io Sky, Asuka, Charlotte Flair, triple threat for the women's title. Do you see a change here, or
I hope not.
Io? Yeah. Who do you think
Way
should?
way too early in her reign.
Is it Jade's to take off of Io?
I think
Cargill?
Jade's going to Raw.
Who do you think is Tiffany? Maybe down the line. She beats Charlotte Flair. Maybe they put Tiffany Io at the Rumble or something.
I don't know.
John Cena LA Knight against the Bloodline. I just don't see Cena losing.
No, LA Knight will get the pinfall 100% because it's going to set up this
Yeah.
match with Roman Reigns at the Saudi show next month.
Yeah. And
That's what's gonna. Yeah, and new. I wish.
I know.
I wish and new.
He's gonna beat Hogan's record.
It's just gonna be and same old shit. Roman Reigns.
And the main event, which should be just, I think, is gonna be fucking amazing. Seth freaking Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura, last man standing for the heavyweight title. I'm gonna pick it, and it better happen. But I'm going Shinsuke again. But it's gotta be Shinsuke this time. If he doesn't win,
it's
just shitting on him.
Then he's done. Like if he doesn't win, I'm the guy that's going like, when's his contract up? When's he leaving? Yeah. Because if they pulled this stunt and they didn't let him, accept Rollins' rematch the night after, and he was severely hurt, and waited through all this bullshit to just do this last man standing match. If Nakamura doesn't win on Saturday, then my question is, when is he?
You just wasted all that momentum.
When is his deal up?
You wasted all that momentum you've built on turning him heel.
Wouldn't be the first time, and sure as hell won't be the last.
I don't think Dragon Lee's joining the LWO. I think he's going to help out Ray on the LWO beatdown if they turn on him. I think Dragon Lee's going to help Ray, to be honest with you. I think Dragon Lee's getting called up as soon as now.
It certainly seems like they've got main roster plans for him on SmackDown.
All right, Raw is going on right now. Intercontinental title match contract to be signed. Tegan Knox, Becky Lynch still up in the air. Maybe things change. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Drew McIntyre is on Miz TV. Xavier Woods and Ivar. Matt, any final thoughts?
Stop trying to make the Viking Raiders happen.
Move them to AEW. Bring back the War Machine.
I would give anything for them to revert back to War Machine. Absolutely anything.
Go check out Rick's interview with Julia Hart out right now. Have yourselves a good week. We will be back at you next week with our Fastlane review. Have a good one. And as always, we are brought to you by Bet Online.